Why is this happening?
Nothing's happening. Oh my God.
You know, I don't really care which dress we get. It doesn't matter to me. I just need to get off this white carpet.
No, okay. No, not the bathroom. Everybody, go outside. I'm serious. There's a bathroom across the street.
It's just a book. No harm ever came from reading a book.
In ancient Egypt, women didn't wait for modern comfort. They created their own. They took matters into their own hands, sometimes literally, and with tools that would terrify today's hygiene industry. To manage their periods, they used softened papyrus, moistened, rolled, and wrapped in strips of linen, somewhere between a scroll and a silent prayer. Others turned to hollowed-out reeds, inserted with all the grace trial and error could offer. Comfortable? Not really. But sacred? In many ways, yes, because in ancient Egypt, menstruation wasn't just physical, it was spiritual, a part of fertility, myth, and divine order. Especially if you were a high priestess, preparing a 3-day ritual ceremony in 100-degree sun, in a white linen dress, with nothing but optimism and papyrus between you and disaster.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
The Greeks gave us philosophy, the Romans gave us aqueducts, but between the wisdom and the plumbing, they gave women something else. Wool tampons and shared sponges. Yes, a communal sponge on a stick, passed around like a bar of soap at summer camp. Wash it, reuse it, repeat. Sometimes dipped in vinegar for cleanliness, sometimes just rinsed in the same water, used by 20 other people. It was the ancient version of do not share your loofah, except no one got the memo. Privacy, non-existent, comfort, negotiable, dignity, hilariously optional. But hey, they had public baths, and what they lacked in hygiene, they made up for in confidence and sponge-based sisterhood.
Bring out your dead! Bring out your dead!
The Middle Ages were dark, and not just because of the lighting. For women, those days came with no comfort, no privacy, and definitely no sympathy. Menstruation was considered a sign of weakness or sin. Some believed it was a punishment from God. Women used rags, old cloth, whatever scraps they could find. Wash it, dry it, pray no one sees it. Sometimes they didn't use anything at all and just stayed home. Because let's be honest, try walking through a muddy village in a wool dress while bleeding, and yet no one ever put that in the history books.
Everyone is polite. Everyone smiles and bows. But beneath their courtesy, I detect a deep reservoir of feeling.
Meanwhile, in the East, discipline was everything. In ancient Japan, women used tightly folded paper tampons, changed them up to 12 times a day, with belts to keep them in place. It wasn't easy, but it was efficient. In China, some women used silk cloths, carefully stitched and worn like armor. There was no just winging it. You bled like a warrior. No leaks, no drama, just shame, folded neatly into your obi. In Victorian times, everything was elegant, until it wasn't. Women used homemade cloth pads sewn from scraps, and shame. They were held in place by something called a sanitary belt, which sounds helpful, but felt like medieval torture. Buying period products in public? Impossible. Most women had to whisper it like a sin. Excuse me, do you have the thing? Modesty was everything. Even if you were bleeding through 4 layers of petticoats, while sipping tea in total denial.
Heiresses comparing inheritances on Gatsby's beach.
In the 1920s, the world got modern, jazz, electricity, and disposable pads. Kotex hit the market, made from World War I bandage material. But buying them, still a covert mission. Women would write notes instead of saying the word out loud. Some stores kept them under the counter, like contraband. Meanwhile, advertising tried to be subtle. So subtle, no one even knew what the product was, just feminine needs. And a woman jumping rope, in a white dress. Nothing says comfortable like public panic and silent shame.
Yes.
Somebody wrote in that book that I'm lying about being a virgin because I use super jumbo tampons, but I can't help it if I've got a heavy flow and a wide set vagina.
In 1931, a man named Dr. Haas invented the first commercial tampon, and women everywhere collectively gasped. Tampax hit the shelves with one big problem. Nobody wanted to say what it was for. The word tampon was whispered or avoided entirely, and when women saw how it worked, let's just say some stared at the diagram like it was alien technology. You put it where the revolution had begun, but not without confusion, denial, and a lot of very awkward bathroom experiments.
Will astound you.
By the late 1970s, tampons had gone high-tech. Then came Rely, a super absorbent miracle product made of synthetic foam, designed to be worn longer. What could possibly go wrong? Well, everything. Rely tampons were linked to toxic shock syndrome, a terrifying condition no one really understood. Women were hospitalized, the product was pulled, and the phrase super absorbent was never trusted again. Comfort had gone too far, and women paid the price again. The future has arrived, and it looks a lot like the past. Menstrual cups, cloth pads, period underwear, all reusable, all sustainable. But here's the twist. Your great-great-grandmother probably used something similar, just without the silicone and branding. Now you can bleed into a cup, boil it, and reuse it. It's modern, it's minimalist, and it's kind of medieval, but with better marketing. We have space travel, AI, reusable everything. And yet, we still whisper about periods. It's that time. You know, girl stuff. Ads still use blue liquid. Boys still say you, and girls still hide their tampons up their sleeves. It's 2025, but in some ways, it's still the dark ages. The products changed, the silence didn't. We've come a long way, from papyrus tampons to menstrual cups, from secret sponge rituals to eco-friendly subscription boxes. And yet, in so many ways, it's still awkward, still whispered, still you. But now, you know the history. And maybe, the next time someone gets squeamish about periods, you'll just smile and say, at least you didn't have to share a sponge.
Coming out of me like lava! We've done too fucking look at me!
You laughed, you cringed. You'll never look at a sponge the same way again.